When someone comes in, a lot of times they come in with, hey, I want to do my first tiling project and I'm going to do the plumbing and I'm going to do this shower and it's all going to be great. And by the time you explain to them all the things they should probably consider, they just pull out their checkbook and they said, maybe you guys can just do that for me. We're not like a divorce attorney where we're dealing with unhappiness. We're pretty much delivering a lipstick, to somebody's home.
Welcome back. I'm Paul Gardner, and this is the show where we talk to the people actually building things, businesses, spaces, relationships, and products that last. Today's guest runs a business that I have a lot of respect for, not because it's flashy, but because it's real. Marco's the owner of Tile Outlet and Granite in Boise, Idaho, a family-owned fabrication and installation shop that's been serving the Treasure Valley for over 20 years. Welcome, Marco. Thanks for jumping on today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Now, here's why I wanted you on the show. We kind of come at the industry from different angles. My company, Rock Solid, we import and distribute bathroom vanities and fixtures across Canada and into the U.S. We're on the supply side. You guys, you're on the ground. You're the ones, bringing the raw stone, cutting, finishing, installing in people's homes. So you're able to control the whole fabrication, installation under one process, or under one roof, I should say. I think from a business philosophy perspective, somebody that produces everything and you control the entire outcome is a little bit different to somebody like ourselves, where we try to do the best we can on that, but because we're not doing the installation work ourselves, it's in some ways it's easier, but in other ways it's more challenging at the same time. So, Marco, you're serving homeowners that do full kitchen, bathroom. You're dealing with designers, working on custom projects, general contractors. You got a lot going on dealing with with your group of people for sure. So
Yeah.
I know when we spoke originally that you sort of got into the business back in 2005 in Boise.
Yes.
And so what were you seeing in the market? Like, what made you want to go into this business? Because I know you weren't an entrepreneur prior to this. So what was sort of your thought process when you made the move?
Well, I was leaving the corporate world, so my dad had run a business when I was growing up, so I did understand that running your own business is a kind of a double-edged sword. And
Yeah,
my thinking is that I was ready to take an edge on the other side, because the corporate world, it also is a double-edged sword. There can be a lot of financial success, a lot of learning went on for me, but then moving into
yeah,
the small business environment I really wasn't afraid, but I was definitely curious to see how this was going to go. And
sure.
since I was both opening up a new business, in the um, in the construction world, which I had
Yep,
never spent much time in, I was definitely curious to see how it would go. Our focus at that time when we started the business was not to do the services side, just to have a retail business.
okay,
And and to your point, when you don't control the final outcome, you oftentimes still are either responsible directly or indirectly, and at least viewed as being responsible, because you made the relationship and you engaged with somebody painting a picture of what the solution would look like.
right.
And when it doesn't happen that way, um, not only do your customers not feel very good about it, certainly as a business owner, you feel horrible, and you don't you lose a little confidence in trying to paint that picture for somebody. So as
Yeah,
we as we started into the business, we very quickly realized that we needed to really think through the idea of the services side. And
yeah,
we started in 2005, so it was at kind of it was at the boom right before the bust on the
yeah,
housing market.
right.
And so when we opened our store, we had a sign out for, about 2 months as we were building out and getting ready, and it said opening soon, and we had people leaving sticky notes and face prints and fingerprints on the windows saying, "Hurry up
Wow.
and open, hurry up and open." So when we finally did get open, it was a mad rush.
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
Lasted about a year.
Yeah. 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 I remember 2007, 2008. We were in a related industry. I was in a different business at the time. But I remember when the housing starts went from 2 million to 500,000.
Yeah.
and that was a disaster. Like that was a really tough time for so many people, especially in the U.S. for sure.
Yep. So we
Yeah,
we we got going pretty quick.
yeah,
And we were filling a niche because in Boise there was a lot of traditional businesses that were serving contractors and so forth. And when you come in and you open up a new store, the people who were kind of remodelers, people who were doing their own thing, were having a hard time getting attention
yeah, right.
from a lot of these suppliers. So we came in and we were right there. So we did get a lot of attention from homeowners, and it helped jumpstart our business. But because it was a lot of transactions, it was a lot to learn. We had to, kind of, we were using QuickBooks, and so we
Yeah,
had to kind of learn that. And I had a few employees, but since it was just me and a couple of young employees, it was long days. You
yeah,
spend a lot of time in the morning getting ready. You're all day long. People are coming in, and you're selling. You're educating and you're selling.
yep,
And then at the end of you shut the door, and you got to process the orders. You got to send the purchase orders, and you got to do the whole enchilada pack stuff. And
you mean you
uh,
don't get to go home at the end of the day and just have dinner?
right, yeah, you don't. In fact, dinner was a luxury. So I ended up going from probably a 3 meal a day guy to a 1 meal a day guy, and it's kind of been
Yeah.
that way for 20 years.
It's funny you say that. I mean, a couple of things kind of come up for me around that, and one of them is that my father actually became an entrepreneur in his early 50s, which was pretty late in the game at that point in time, and left the corporate world, and he was in the glass industry. He apprenticed as a glass cutter for 7 years back in, oh geez, that would be now in the 50s. He's actually 96 this summer. Incredible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he took all his retirement money, and he went in and actually opened up his own glass shop. But to be able to do that, and I remember him and my mom working, like you said, weekends, doing paperwork, doing payables, and doing payroll, and it just seemed to be nonstop, for sure. But they had a good 20-year run out of that, which was great. But it is a lot of sacrifice. There's a lot of time behind the scenes where you're like, oh, I can't afford to hire that person, right? And so you
Yeah,
end up doing it, and you become the jack of all trades.
for sure. You end up with a hat that's got points on it in all directions.
Yeah, I have people here in this business, and we're around right now 75, 80 people, and they're like, well, how do you know all the different functions of the business? I'm like, well, because I've done all the functions of the business, right? Marketing's probably my weakest part of my repertoire, but I've done literally. I mean, I've done run payroll, I've done payables, I've done receivables. I've ran factories. There's really not much. I've done sales. Like, there's not much I haven't actually done, and so that experience, just you can answer questions relatively quickly. The other thing I wanted to focus on, which is interesting, was the sort of where you are now in your evolution, which is that end to end, the end-to-end service with your customers. And I was doing some work yesterday on a podcast series that I'm building, and it was very interesting when we talk about the dealer showroom experience versus the online world. And so one of the facts that sort of came out of that is that, say, for like an Amazon or a Wayfair, their return rates are so high, specifically in my category of bathroom vanities. And so, like, I think the return rate is something like 26%. And
Oh, man.
so it's crazy, right? So, but it goes to, you know, what you're talking about, whether it's me selling into my dealer network, or you guys with your customers coming in the door. Both of these industries, countertops, vanities, kitchens, they're a tactile thing. They're a very high visual, and the precision on the installation side is not just something that you just sort of throw in. Otherwise, that that experience very quickly goes south. And I think that this is the problem that, e-com has. It's been very, very successful in a lot of areas, but it's never going to be completely successful in all areas. And so that mix of being able to do a combination of e-com and the store experience where you can come in and actually talk to somebody like yourself. Like there's all these tricks of the trades that you'll never get online. They're very difficult to even put down on paper and teach people. You know how hard it is to teach people inside your own company everything that's
Right.
in your brain, right? How do you transfer that
Sure.
knowledge? Now you try to do that on an e-com site to a DIYer. That's
Right.
hard.
Yeah, for sure. I think the difficulty is that every project, remodel project, typically
Yeah.
that's where we focus, and I
Yeah.
believe that's kind of where you're thinking. It's not contractors that have been
Absolutely.
through it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
With people at home, there's so much possible variation that you can come across that there's no way to really present something without getting first, hey, what's your situation? What are you trying to accomplish? What are you working with? And
Yeah.
then it's only knowledge, that it's only experience that can really listen to that and then come back with, hey, these are the things that we've done that have worked.
Right.
And which one of these sounds appealing to you? And boy, that's trying to do that online, super difficult. I mean, almost
Super difficult.
impossible. And
Yeah.
then trying to even teach employees who don't have a lot of contracting or building or construction experience, teaching them to even be able to listen with an understanding enough to pick out the important parts, and
Right.
then turn that around and make sure that you understand it, and then offer some direction. It is it is really difficult because my brother and I brought my brother into our business
Okay.
about a year and a half after we got going. And
Yep.
so the two of us, if we're out in the store, people come in, we can develop a rapport with them so quickly because of our experience. And plus we know how to listen,
Right.
that without that, it's really difficult for people to come in and then get that positive understanding and feel like they're going to be taken care of. And
Right.
so, yeah, it's really, I can see the challenge in online for what we do, aside from the fact that we've got a wonderful benefit that granite and tile are heavy and they
Yes.
don't ship well.
Right.
So,
Sure.
uh, our business isn't feathers. And if it was feathers, then people could go online and look at pictures and it wouldn't be
Right.
difficult to get it to them.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, people think through. I mean, I think one of the key points you said there was, the whole concept of listening. Um, and so when people think, oh, sales is about talking and product and features and all the rest of it, really what it's about that ability for somebody to come into your store. You are listening to what that person's really saying, because until you listen and understand what their problems are or opportunities, you can't curate that for them. And it's through that curation process, which isn't just about picking out a material. It's about how are you actually going to deliver upon the entire experience so the end to end is more than satisfactory. And as opposed to here's a top, take it home and just take care of it. It just doesn't work that way, especially
For
in the
sure.
renovation business. Can you even fit it in the house? Can you get it
Oh,
around the
absolutely.
doors? Can what exists already? How are they taking it out? Like it was funny on the weekend, my washing machine died, and I was just like, okay, go online and my wife and I bought another set, but I'm like, while I didn't necessarily, I did go into a big box store and it wasn't a great experience, so we left. But I want that turnkey package. I don't have time to deal with removing
Right.
appliances and putting them in and installing them. I want somebody to come in, take it out, put the new ones in, make sure everything's working, and take it away.
Right.
That's the turnkey experience, right? And that's really what you're doing.
Yes, and I think that interestingly, we have, because of our business serves people who are doing it themselves,
Yep.
all the way through people who want us to do everything,
Yep.
that when someone comes in, a lot of times they come in with, hey, I want to do my first tiling project and I'm going to do the plumbing and I'm going to do this shower and it's all going to be great. And by the
Yep.
time you explain to them all the things they should probably consider, they just pull out their checkbook and they said, maybe you guys can just do that for me.
Well, and you know what? You're doing them a favor because it is a skill set, right? It's not, you need to be handy. And what percentage of the population can actually genuinely do it and do it in a way that um, you know, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years down the road, they go, I'm really happy with that outcome.
Right.
That's not easy to do. So
Yep.
I know I couldn't do that. I couldn't renovate my bathroom.
Yeah.
It's too big of a job. It's beyond my capability.
Well, it brings up a funny, I've done a number of remodels here at my home.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And one of them was a bathroom remodel that's kind of our guest bath. And I said to myself, okay, I want to do every part of this. I haven't done all the plumbing. I haven't done all of it, but I want to do every part of it. The
Sure.
electrical, move some lights, nothing major, but
Yep.
the waterproofing of the shower. I want to do everything. So I did.
Okay.
I won't do that again. I will bring in our experts, I'll bring our plumbers, I'll bring in our electricians, I'll bring in our drywall guys and my tile
Right.
guys because they're so much faster. And, I did enjoy it, but
Yeah,
it
sure.
took me forever.
Yeah. Well, a plumber is not an electrician. An electrician isn't a drywaller. That's why
Right.
they, right? So, I
Exactly.
mean, yes, you get the experience and there is the satisfaction of doing it. There's no doubt about that. Um, I would be fearful of me just botching it. So,
Well, it's true. Some things present more risk than others. Showers, I definitely pan tested my shower because I didn't want to start tiling and not knowing for sure that it was, waterproof. But
yeah.
we tell customers, hey, if you should do these things, if you're going to do a shower, and a shower, of course, there's a lot of risk.
Oh, yeah. 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 A lot of risk when you think about it, right? So, yeah, I didn't even think about that. I mean, there's actually there's the water risk there. There's the plumbing risk for water. There's the electrical risk there. I mean, yeah. I mean, there's I don't know how would your insurance company feel about some of
Right.
that, right?
Right. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
there you go. Well, you mentioned earlier you brought your brother in. Is he
Yeah,
still in the business today?
he is. He is. It's been, he's almost 20 years and we're working on our 21st year of being open.
Yeah. Well, that's a great
And he
run.
came, he,
Congratulations.
ca- he came in with very little experience in the construction, less than me. And,
Yep.
he was a football coach. He played football at Boise State and then went on and coached. And then
Yep.
when he came in, he had to learn, but now he's still in the business and he's bought in to be a percentage owner
Yep.
and
Great. Good for him.
it allows us to be, together, which is,
Yeah.
for a lot of years, I think I saw him 2 or 3 times a year. And
Right.
for the last 20 years, just about, we've seen each other pretty much every day.
There you
And
go.
there's no blood stains anywhere in, in the shop.
Oh, that's good. That's always good to hear. I actually worked with my brother and my father for in the first part of my career. And yeah, I mean it definitely has it had its challenging moments. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, you wouldn't trade it for anything at the end of the day, right? So,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. Is he your only family member in the business at this point?
Well, over
You
the
didn't drag your
years, I
wife
mean,
into it?
my wife did come and help some, but her
Yep.
comment was after being there that I wasn't as much fun at work as I was at home. And I said, well, I generally don't come to work to just have fun, even though it's very fun. It's
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah. I
fun.
know what you mean. There's a different type of fun.
Yes, it's intensity. You want to get things done and get them done right. And I'm not there to social.
Right. Yeah.
But
Why aren't you stopping to have a coffee?
exactly. We're not
Yeah.
going to sit
Yeah.
around and chit chat. I got stuff to do, and usually
Yeah.
more than you can do. Um,
Well, and that's just it, right? It's endless. Like
it
for
is.
entrepreneurs, it's always endless. And well, let's digress to that a little bit. I mean, are you able to, um, you've been doing this for a long time. Have you been able to create those breaks in your patterns in order to give yourself that type of downtime in order to recharge?
Most definitely. So, like for example, I just got back a couple weeks ago from Peru, and my
Oh,
wife and I
great.
spent 2.5 weeks, and it was the second time because I went the year before with my son.
Okay.
And so,
Wow.
and I usually every year we take and we go. We go to Hawaii once a year. We do multiple things where I just take the time, and sometimes there's been times in the past that I really didn't want to.
Yep.
I was worried that if I left, but with my brother being in the business, I knew that there was someone that would be there that would take care of stuff. And
Sure.
if it was really serious, he could reach out to me typically, unless I was out camping up in the mountains, and
Right.
we could
Right.
sort through it. So yeah, have been able to do that. And I'm a big fly fisherman. So for me,
Oh, wow.
that's therapy. If I can go stand in a river, and I do that a lot in order to just recharge.
Good for you. How close is that to where you are now?
I can be fishing in 15 minutes.
Wow. Well, maybe
The
I'll come
boys
visit and you can teach me how to fly fish.
Yeah, right on. I think that it's hard not to love it. Part of it though is like standing in a river, flowing water. It's clear, it's beautiful, trees, animals, birds, and then of course the excuse is that you're hunting trout. Um,
Yeah.
and for the most part, that is a big part of it because that's a beautiful, simple focus with a lot of intricacy
Yep.
that I find appealing. So yeah, we're really close. If you make it out to Boise, I'll get you on the river, and we'll get you into a big fat trout in the Boise River.
There you go. Well, that would be a first for me. So that would be great. That would be great. I could actually
Yeah,
just start talking about that now instead of our topic here. So
yeah. It
now
is. It
you're
is a good thing.
what was that?
It is a really good thing. If and it sort of brings out your competitive side as well,
Yeah,
which
I can imagine.
business does too. Yeah,
Yeah, well, that naturally does that. The business side is also survival, whereas fly fishing would just be more gamesmanship and competition, I would imagine.
for
So,
sure, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, absolutely. So your shop, do you have like CNC machines and everything as well? Do you do the fabrication
We
of?
don't. We have
Okay,
we're very simple. So
okay,
we like I said in the beginning, we didn't come into the business with a plan to do the fabrication and installation.
gotcha. Yep,
We very quickly moved on the tile side toward basically working with very few subcontractors, and
gotcha.
they actually ended up being where we got a family, a brother, two brothers, and then there's also a son, and then another cousin they're all Ukrainian, and they're
Okay.
all really good tile setters, and they
Oh
basically
wow,
were working just for us.
gotcha. Oh,
And
okay,
and
great.
but we couldn't pay them hourly because that's not really how they work. They're just they get in there and really get after it.
Yep,
So we were working with them by the project. And then the granite side, we had another company that we were partnered with that was doing the fabrication and installation. But we
gotcha.
really couldn't control that quality. So then we went in and we did start to bring in some machinery and some equipment and set up, part of our warehouse to do some fabrication.
Yep.
And over time, we did bring in some more equipment. So now we have we have a bridge saw, but we
Okay.
do mostly hand finishing.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, we do a little bit of that ourselves actually. So, that sounds very similar to what we do. We'll
And
drill, cut, and polish.
yep,
That's what we'll do.
I mean it is. It's basically really hard wood stone.
It's true. It's actually, I mean, besides it's heavier, it's actually easier almost. So, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I hear you. So, well, that's good. So that keeps you very flexible then. I mean, unless you're doing more complicated, miter joints and stuff like that, then that's a different animal. But,
Well, and we do
oh,
mitered
you do?
edges. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and it's not something that we do a lot of, but
Yep.
we've been called, we have some pretty high-end areas around us, Sun Valley,
Yep.
and then there's
Yeah. True.
McCall, which is a mountain community, and
Gotcha.
we've been brought in and said, hey, we're gonna, we figured we would take it on and learn, and we took our time, and we started out doing some mitered waterfalls, and then we went to mitered edge countertops, and
Yep.
just glued together laminated edges too. So most of what we do in Boise for stone is 3 centimeter. So
Yes.
you don't do a lot of laminated edges.
True.
Um, and
Yep.
then on the court side, it's all 3 centimeter slab here. I mean, everything is pretty much 3 centimeter, where in some places
Right.
it's all 2 centimeter with the lamb.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, we're 95% 3 centimeter. So absolutely. So what's next for you guys? Any do you ever look at doing acquisitions, or you're sort of past that at this point, or what's
Yeah, I
the
think that,
future?
yeah, I mean, I got into this business a little late. Uh,
Yep.
and I don't want to have a big, monstrous
No, that's
business.
fair.
That's not my objective. And I've talked with my brother, and we both have the same feeling, which is we're really about doing a really, really good job
Yep.
and having enough money to live and do the things we want to do. But
Yeah.
I don't really want a yacht, so I'm not going to pursue. I'm not going to
I
pursue.
don't think you could use a yacht in Boise, could you?
The Boise River wouldn't really be good
No,
for
I don't think so. It would interrupt the fly fishing anyways.
it would mess up somebody's fly fishing for sure. So our real strategy at this point, and we've thought about, franchising, because we feel we have a good recipe. You know,
Okay.
um, the smiley face before the dollar sign recipe is
Yep.
that we're focused on satisfying our customers well, and our employees too.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then knowing that if we do that, we're going to have success financially, and enough success. So
Yeah. Well, exactly, right? I mean, how
it's
much do you need at the end of the day?
how much financial success, and then there's balance with the family and all that. So as
Yep.
I started to pull away about a year and a half ago from the business,
Yep.
I found that, one, I missed it.
Yeah.
It's like I love doing projects at home, and my wife has a beautiful laundry list of things that she'd like me to do.
Sure.
Um, but I missed the engagement with the people, and help solving problems for them, and bringing something beautiful, because we're not like a divorce
Yeah.
attorney where we're dealing with unhappiness. We're pretty much delivering, a lipstick, to
Yep.
somebody's home. And
Absolutely.
I really love it. So I think that, keeping affiliated with the business, not being there, 24/7, you
Sure.
know, um, uh, but being engaged and being able to participate, and
Yeah.
be there to help train people, and so forth, is part of my plan. And my brother, as we bring in some more people, and we have grown our business to
Yep.
where now I don't have to be there.
Is your
Um,
brother younger than you?
he's a little bit younger. I mean, he's a
A
year and a
little bit.
half younger than me.
Okay,
So
just a year and a half.
at
Gotcha.
this
Yeah.
point in our lives, we're about the same age. It's pretty
Yeah, yeah,
funny.
no, for sure. Yeah, people talk about retiring, but it's like, what do retire to what exactly?
Right. Right.
Okay, sure, maybe I can, even for myself, I can see myself working less, but do I want to separate myself completely from the business? Probably not. I mean, I'm only 59. I feel like I got a long road still ahead of me.
Right.
And so if I were to retire now, I'd probably just end up in another business somewhere else anyways, like, cause that's just who
Exactly.
I am. Right. So like
Yeah.
maybe, like I said, maybe work a little less, but yeah, I mean, and I've talked to a number of my friends, and I think the concept of retiring is starting to change anyways. Um, where we have the opportunity to live a longer, more functional life for, so our health span is getting longer.
Yeah.
I think the days of retiring at 65, um, that's a boomer generation concept that's probably going to disappear over the next 5 years is
Sure.
what I would say. Because people are just, you know, what else are they going to do? They need to have a purpose in their life, right?
Well,
So
and you've heard the stories where people work until they're 60 or 65, they retire, and then they don't live very much longer after that because
right,
they've
they
lost their
stop
purpose.
cold, right? They stop
Yeah,
cold,
yeah, yeah.
and then that laundry list just gets longer. So there
Well,
you
the good
go.
news is that as you're able to pull away and not have to be at the business, then you can do those projects. And then what you end up doing is escaping back to the business so that you don't have to do all of those projects, or at
Right.
least not all in a row. So
Yeah. I know exactly. Well, I think it does. For many years, like you said earlier, we actually don't have any balance in our life. Like I know today I don't have any balance in my life, and I don't even know what that means anymore. I would
yeah,
like
what?
to think
Yeah.
later when I'm 65, 70, that's when I'm going to get balance in my life because I'll just be working less, still working, but working a lot less.
Well, the balance part is not the same for everybody,
No,
and
absolutely.
and and like with my wife and I, she likes her alone time doing her own things as well. So
100%.
it's our balance is that we plan to do some trips and then we'll do some camping. Well, she'll like call me on a Thursday at work and she's like, "Hey, let's go camping this weekend." And we've got one of those vans, we can just jump in it and go.
Nice.
And so
Nice.
we get our balance by doing stuff together like that, and even doing stuff around the house, because she definitely will work her tail off. So if we'll go out and do something together in the yard, or she'll
Yeah.
help me, and so that balance is unique to each person. And
Yep.
I feel like I have balance, and I think if I had more free time, maybe I'd get into more trouble. I don't know. Um, uh,
Maybe. Maybe. Or maybe just go fly fishing more often.
I would definitely fish, but like my buddy, one of my friends just retired, and I said, he goes, "When are you going to retire? When are you going to sell your business and just be
Yeah.
done with all that?" And I'm like, but Jeff, I can't fish every day. I mean, it wouldn't be fun anymore.
Right.
Um,
Right.
I go, I need the diversity of stuff. I still want to fish. I still want to camp. I still want to work some. I want to do
Yeah,
home
exactly.
projects. That's my balance.
Yeah. Well, it's like these guys who golf. Like I couldn't golf 5 days a week. That first of all, it'd probably destroy my body.
Oh,
Um, so
yeah,
I'm happy if I can golf once a week, sort of thing,
right.
and that's enough, right? Yeah. So there you
Yes.
go. Well, there you go.
And it's
Well, it
fun.
was great chatting, Marco. And
Yeah.
when I make my way out to Boise, I'm going to go fly fishing with you.
I would love to take you out. I hope a chance that you make it out here.
No, that's great. Appreciate it.
My
And
pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
no, it's been great getting to know you and hearing your story. So that's great.
Super. Have a
Thank you.
wonderful day. Yep.
You too. Have a good one.
Sure.